What's up, guys? So, we've had a lot of things going on in the baseball world, kind of in the last few days, more so than anything else. But we've got quite a lot to go over, so I'm just going to jump into it. First thing, though, I do want to show you. I'm also recording this for a podcast, so for those that can't see it, I'll do my best to explain it. But I got on my Matt Kemp shirt where he's hitting his bomb off of I think that was the home run off Archie Bradley. And that's because he won the MLBPA, which is the Players Association. He won the NL Comeback Player of the Year. So shout out to Matt. Great for him. Had a strong comeback season. Really happy for him. And can't wait to see what he does next this upcoming season. But back to other things, kind of outside of the awards. Jansen had his heart surgery on November 26th, which was Tuesday, I believe. His recovery is expected to be 2 to 8 weeks, and the team expects him to be ready for spring training and, of course, opening day. He woke up, said he felt good. He said he's going to be stronger than ever coming back into 2019. His plans are to travel to Colorado. He wants to be there for the team. The guy has so much heart, no pun intended. He loves this team and will do anything. I mean, he put himself and his family in, I don't want to say harm's way, but he went all out for this team. And so I respect him for that. Even though he struggled, he gave it all for us and for his teammates and everything in between. So he did say the coolest part was Roberts drove up from San Diego to be there when he woke up. So that's really cool. I'm a big fan of this team chemistry, but I'm just happy Kenley's healthy and hopefully it stays that way and he continues to have a successful season. They did say, the doctor said about 90% chance that this won't ever happen again. So let's all pray it doesn't. We need our guy healthy. Next thing, sorry, I'm recording out my house and someone's pulling up. So if I pause this, I apologize. We had the Rule 5 draft, and I can't really explain that for you word for word. So I'm going to read it to you off of MLB's website. Actually, I'm going to pause this because I think he's walking up to my door. 1 second. Sorry, guys. How do you pause it? Pause video recording. Yes, pause. I'm using a new tablet thing to record with, so I don't know what I'm doing. 1 second. I apologize. All right, let's get back into this. So right here I have the MLB's definition for the Rule 5 draft. The Rule 5 draft allows clubs without a full 40-man roster to select certain non-40-man roster players from other clubs. Clubs draft in reverse order of the standings from the previous season. Players who signed with their current club at age 18 or younger and have played professionally for at least 5 years are eligible to be selected, as are those who signed at 19 or older and have at least 4 years of professional experience. Not every club will make a selection, but those that do pick a player must pay $100,000 to the club from which said player was selected. Rule 5 draft picks are assigned directly to the drafting club's 25-man roster and must be placed on outright waivers in order to be removed from the 25-man roster in the subsequent season. Should the player clear waivers, he'll be offered to his previous team for $50,000 and can be outrighted to minors only if his original club does not wish to reacquire him. A Rule 5 draft pick can be placed on the Major League disabled list, but he must be active for a minimum of 90 days to avoid being suspect to the aforementioned roster restrictions in the next campaign. Clubs may trade a player selected in the Rule 5 draft, but the same restrictions apply to the player's new organization. However, they can work out a trade with the Rule 5 pick's original club to acquire his full rights, thereby allowing him to be optioned to the minors under traditional circumstances. I know that's probably a lot to listen to on here, so Google it. MLB has a glossary. I highly suggest you use it. It's awesome. But anyways, the Dodgers picked up catcher Keiber Ruiz, who was our number 2 prospect. So he's now on the 40-man roster. Right-handed pitcher Yadier Alvarez, and then first base and third base Matt Beatty and Edwin Rios. And then right-handed pitcher Josh Sborz. So all these guys are on our 40-man roster, which means they can go up and down with the team if need be. And they got their contracts picked up. So Kyber Ruiz is someone I'm insanely excited to see. Probably won't see him until September call-ups or even 2020. I think he's only like 19 or 20 years old, but he's going to be super exciting to watch. The Dodgers also DFA'd Eric Goodell, Zach Roscup, Tim LeCastro, Pat Venditti, who is our ambidextrous guy, and Tom Kohler was released by the team. So they did let a couple of the guys go, all bullpen guys, DFA'd them. Depending on what happens, they could come back with the club, they might not. Is in Tim LeCastro's situation, he was actually traded to the Yankees for minor leaguer Drew Finley. And Drew Finley's dad is actually the Dodgers VP of Amateur and International Scouting. I believe Drew Finley's a pitcher, so can never have too many of those. And Venditti was DFA'd because the Dodgers traded cash considerations to Braves for Adam McCreary. So Adam McCreary is a big, I believe, left-handed. He's 6'9", 250 pounds. I think he's 25 years old. He made his debut on August 9th. His numbers aren't terrible. I don't think he would be ready to go on our big league club, but that's what spring training's for. You never know. You can never have too much bullpen, especially after the World Series. Miserable. Our bullpen was terrible in the World Series, except for, of course, that 18-inning game because they held it together. But that's kind of going on. Another interesting one that most people might not know who he is, but Jacob Scavuzzo, I don't think he wasn't picked up. I believe he was part of the Rule 5 draft, wasn't picked up. So he signed with the Padres as a minor league free agent. The only reason why I have any kind of not curiosity, but interest in this is because he actually went to the high school down the street from me, and it was my rival's high school. And I had friends who I played soccer with who were friends with him, so just kind of a funny story. But anyways, to some more important things, we do have some good news that the Dodgers finally got some hiring done with their coaches. Still no GM after Farhan left us. Usually I like to say good luck to people who are with us and leave, but when you go to the Giants, I can't do it. I can't wish you any luck, so sorry, Farhan. We're going to have to replace you. You were a hell of a GM for us, but you went to the worst team possible, so not all the luck to you. So we have our new third base coach. He's Dino Ebel. He was the Angels' third base coach most of his time there, and Socha's bench coach for 4 years. He did actually play for the Dodgers minor league team for 6 years as an infielder. So there is that connection between him and the team. That's always kind of good. I feel like when players come back and coach for a team that they played for, it's a little bit more meaningful to them. So I do hope he comes in and makes a big difference. We did see Woodward make questionable calls at time when it comes to rounding guys on third base, like when Kemp took out Chirinos. Probably never should have sent him home. Of course, it led into that big old kind of brawl, I guess you want to call it, on the field. So I don't think fans are mad about that, but we've seen questionable calls. So I think it's good we got someone else in there. Kind of need to shake things up. He actually was a full-time coach in the Dodgers farm system before he left for the Angels organization in 2005. So that's pretty cool. Can't wait to see them. Chris Jimenez is our new game planning coach, who actually caught and pitched for the Twins and Cubs last year. So he's, I think, only 35, and his game planning will be interesting to see because we're going to see it from a pitcher and a catcher's perspective, and he's going to be able to game plan around that stuff. So that'll be kind of interesting to see how he does in that field. And not that the Twins are, the Cubs, it always helps to know what other NL teams are doing. So kind of give us an idea, probably not really what's going on in their organization, but at least kind of what they were playing and working with. So hopefully that works out. Another one that I'm really excited for was Robert Van Scoyoke. He's our new hitting coach, but he's kind of an unconventional hitting coach. So he was the D-backs hitting strategist last year in Arizona. They actually created that position specifically for him, and what his job was to supply position players personalized, number-driven game plans on how to attack pitchers. So he spent time with individual players and gave them game plans on how to kind of go after pitchers when they're in certain counts, what to do, what the pitcher might throw them. Kind of when you always look back to Kirk Gibson's home run when they tell you if Eckersley gets you to 2 strikes, you're going to see the slider. and then Gibson hits that home run. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. He is an LA native. He spent 2 years with the Dodgers as a hitting consultant. He's also known for helping minor league players and MLB players with their mechanics. He's actually the guy that's credited for completely changing CT3's swing. So that guy we got back in 2017 was probably thanks to this guy. A big help to him, at least. So excited to see him and see where that goes. I think with that, the only position we have open now is GM, if I remember correctly. If not, go ahead and correct me. All is well. This is where things get a little bit interesting. The trade talks. So the Dodgers and Indians, as well as a few other teams, have been in talks with the Indians in regards to Indians starting pitching. So there's Kluber, Carrasco, Bauer are their top 3. There's also Clevenger, who's their 4. I don't think they would go after him. They're going to go, if they're going to get someone, it's going to be a top-of-the-line guy. And then their catcher, Yan Gomes. So we could see a package deal for that. A lot of the things I'm hearing from people from The Athletic, reporters, whatever, all over Twitter, that's where I get my information from. I don't have any personal sources, so all of this stuff is what I get from other sources on Twitter, have said that they could see, apparently Puig right now is the big piece there. He's the one that I guess they're wanting right now, which kind of makes no sense because Puig's going to be a free agent after next year. So maybe they don't want him. Maybe that's just what they're trying to build around and go from there. But I've also heard Puig, Wood, and Yadier Alvarez, who I mentioned earlier about the Rule 5 draft. If there was, and this is possibly for Kluber, Corey Kluber, if we could pull that off, I would be 100% okay with that. I love Puig, don't get me wrong. I don't think he has a future with the Dodgers, and that's nothing against him. I just think with the outfield depth and the money that Puig is going to be asking for, I just don't know if the team will keep him. So we might as well get something for him instead of just letting him be a free agent and walk elsewhere. Wood, very underwhelming 2018 season. I want him gone. I don't care what team he goes to. There's no room for him in the rotation with us keeping Hyun-Jin Ryu, Walker, Kershaw. We're going to have Urias. We got Hill. We got Maeda. It's just taking up too much space. Ross Stripling's name was also one floated around in the trade to the Indians. Again, bummer to see him go, but I wouldn't necessarily mind it because it's just another guy we just don't necessarily have any room for. They've talked about a possible catching prospect, which I would hope to God it would only be Will Smith and not Kyber Ruiz. I don't think that they would go that route. But I mean, Gomes has a pretty good contract. He's got 1 year with $7 million for next season. So we could get rid of him after next year and then bring up Kyber Ruiz for 2020 if he's ready to go, which kind of sounds like the direction the team wants to head in. And in 2020 and 2021, he actually has a club option. So if we do need to keep him or want to keep him, we can, and that's never a bad thing. His OPS in 2018 was 762. Not great, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. Wouldn't hurt us at all to add in there. Definitely better than Barnes. He did have a 27 strikeout rate, kind of around the Taylor numbers. Maybe actually, I think it's a little less. I think that might be more around Taylor's strikeout numbers last year, if I remember. So I wouldn't mind him. I think he'd be a good pickup. JT Realmuto is someone the Dodgers are also talking to, but I think that's going to cost us a lot more. Names floating around for that are Bellinger, Verdugo, Jock. I don't necessarily see Jock going, but if we're going to get rid of Puig and Jock, I really want to see Verdugo stay with the team. I think he's got just all the tools we need. He's young, contract's good for us for the time being, and he's a good contact hitter. I think he would actually make a really good leadoff guy for us. So I would prefer to go a different route than Realmuto, only because I don't want to have to give up what they're going to ask for him. Kluber, on the other hand, I mean, the dude is aging. He's 33, or will be 33 next year, but listen, I mean, his numbers. He's 2014 and 2017 Cy Young. He won the 2017 ERA title with a 2.25 ERA, and I believe Kershaw won it for the NL last year, or for that season, 2017, the NL ERA title, and Kluber had the best overall ERA, I think, between him and Kershaw. Barely, but could you imagine Kershaw and Kluber in a rotation together with Walker Buehler? That would be pretty nuts. His 2018 season, I mean, he killed it. He had a 289 ERA. He's had 200 plus strikeouts since 2014 each season. His contract is not bad at all. He's got about $15.5 million next year, with a club option as well in 2020 and 2021. So he does have pretty good. Oh no, sorry, 1 second. Seriously, come on. Well, now I feel really stupid because I was recording the whole time. I was trying to figure out what was going on and what was wrong. So that's embarrassing. I apologize for like that minute and a half of me doing nothing. Like I said, I'm recording on this tablet for the first time, and I was trying to record a podcast, and I was having issues with that. So I'll have to figure that out later because I don't want to keep screwing this vlog up. I apologize. Stick with me here. But anyways, back to where we were. You can't really go wrong, I feel like, with Corey Kluber at this point. He's a right-handed pitcher, which would be great to get in with those lefties, Kershaw, Hill, and he's dominated. He is up there. People are worried about him since he's been a workhorse most of at least the last few years. People are worried about injury, but the thing is, when you have the club option, we can always get rid of him after 1 year. So even if he doesn't perform to what we want, it's not a huge loss for us to get rid of the guys that they're talking about. Carlos Carrasco is another one that they've mentioned. The only thing is the Indians aren't willing to trade him if he signs an extension. So they're kind of waiting on that. I think they're working with him right now, but they won't trade him if he wants to sign an extension. He still has 2 more years on his contract, around $10 million a year, I believe. But he's age 32. He had a 3.38 ERA in 2018. So pretty good numbers. Can't go wrong with there. I didn't put down Bauer's stats. To be 100% honest, I didn't really think the Dodgers would go after him. I don't know if they are. I can't actually speak on that. He seems like, I'm not a fan of the guy. He's very, very outspoken, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, except for he's just known for some of the things he says to people on Twitter, and he's a very not controversial guy, or I guess he could be to some people. You know what? If he ends up in a Dodger uniform, I'm not going to be angry. The dude is a hell of a pitcher when he's healthy and stays healthy. I don't think he has a bad injury kind of. I don't believe he's very injury prone, but I don't know. I don't want anyone to come in here who's going to cause problems in our clubhouse or distract the team. We've had that problem years ago. Then Molly Knight's book came out and everyone lost their minds. The fans knew about all the drama and you could kind of tell it was affecting the team, and we don't need that. So I'm hoping they don't go that route, but if they do, I'm going to trust that management knows. It's just who he is on Twitter. He's good in the clubhouse. We can't make opinions on what we think players are in the clubhouse, so it wouldn't be fair of me to say anything along there. I just have my doubts and my worries, but he does have good numbers. He did put up better numbers. He was injured, but he did put up better numbers than Corey Kluber, and he's younger. And it sounds like the Indians want to trade him first. I don't know why. That makes me a little bit skeptical as to why they'd want to get rid of him before Kluber, especially with him being younger. But we'll just have to wait and see. There's really only very few people that I would not be happy with if they came to the Dodgers, and one of those is Madison Bumgarner. I get the dude is a stud and had his playoff numbers, but I can't stand the guy. He's also on a ridiculous decline right now, and I just don't know if I'd be happy with that. And then anyone who obviously is an abuser. Obviously there's no women in baseball, but women or male, if you're an abuser, you really shouldn't even be playing in a sport. So obviously if they're rightly convicted, guilty or innocent till proven guilty, but whatever. Anyways, I don't want to drag this video out, so we'll see what they do. I'm not in the front office. I'm a fan. We've all got our opinions. Some of y'all might not agree with mine, but it is what it is. The Dodgers are also still in talks with second baseman DJ LeMahieu. However, MLB Network made a comment this morning that kind of made it sound like he's going to go to the Cubs. I don't take too much what MLB Network says to heart, because you never really know what they actually are doing or mean. I mean, they're analysts, they're ex-players, they're whatever they may be. You never know. So I'm not going to hold on too much that they said he's going to the Cubs. I think he would be an upgrade for our second base. He's not great, but I do think he would be better there every day than Kike or Taylor. I know fans don't like to hear that. I know fans love Taylor and love Kike. I like them both too. Taylor stresses me out. I don't know the end of the season, but I do know most of the way through the season, he led the entire league in strikeouts, and I can't with that. That bothers me more than anything when it comes to a player's performance. Like, I'd rather you friggin' line out every single day. I mean, ground out. Obviously not into a double play, but strikeouts are just so frustrating because you do nothing positive for the team whatsoever. And he's completely fallen off. And so I'm a little bit worried on that front. I don't want Taylor or Kike being our everyday second baseman. I think LeMahieu would be an upgrade, but who knows how much. Don't want to spend too much money on a guy that's not going to be much better. So we'll just have to wait and see. Could be interesting to see him in there. A lot of kind of things going on right now with other guys being traded to other teams, guys that Dodger fans either wanted or Dodgers were in talk to. Dodgers made an offer to Garrett Richards. He played for the Angels. When he played, he put up very good numbers. Problem is, he kind of has an injury thing. He's coming off TJ surgery, most likely won't be available until 2020. I don't know if the Padres would try to put him in a reliever role come the end of the season. You don't usually take chances with pitchers when it comes to TJ, but he took the Padres offer over ours, so not angry about it. We wouldn't have been able to use him next year, but it's kind of a funny feeling when you've got the best National League team in baseball and guys choose other teams over you. Another big name and starting pitcher was James Paxton from the Mariners. He was traded to the Yankees. I know a lot of Dodger fans on Twitter were talking about him and wanting him on the team. The Mariners are in rebuild mode. Right now, there were some talks around Dodger fans saying they wanted Edwin Diaz, who had 57 saves last year, which I think was the most in baseball, just completely dominant as a reliever. And then I think it's Gene Segura. yeah, Gene Segura to be our second baseman. Could have packaged a deal. However, it looks like the Mets swooped in and took Diaz, so I don't think that's going to be an option for us. The deal's not 100% set yet, but they said it's pretty close as long as nothing comes to screw it up. It kind of sounds like the Mets are going to run away with Diaz, so we'll have to look elsewhere for closers. There's other ones out there. Diaz would have cost us a lot, I think, come prospect-wise. Mets also had to take on Robinson Cano's contract, which is 5 years for $120 million. So I would have been a little worried the Dodgers might have had to take that on. Cano's not terrible. However, he did have the PED thing last year, 80-game suspension. Not a good look. So kind of glad they stayed away from that. Zach Greinke's on the trade block. Dodger fans have very mixed feelings about him. I can't stand the guy for the way he handled free agency and left us. I wouldn't be mad, though, if he came back. He's a stud, and he did great at Dodger Stadium. I just don't know how well he would produce under that kind of pressure again, because fans at first would probably be a little hesitant towards him. And if we did go that route, I would like to see him package it for Paul Goldschmidt. But I also don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Arizona would trade to us. And if they did, I think they would try and take as much as possible from us. Makes sense. We're in the same division. But Paul Goldschmidt only has 1 year left on his contract. I think you put a big right-handed bat in our lineup with Seager, Bellinger. I know Verdugo's not power, but bringing him in would give Turner protection. You bat him fourth. Have my ideal lineup would be have Seager first, well, at least my top four. Verdugo first, Seager second, Turner third, and then Goldschmidt fourth. If they were to get him, that would be my ideal there. But funny enough, they released Greinke's no-trade list, and we're on there. Greinke doesn't really want to play for us. I don't blame the guy. I don't care. It is what it is. He actually doesn't want to play for anyone in the NL West. So that's actually just kind of funny the way things are. He had a lot of good teams on there, so it almost looked like he didn't want to play for many teams that were going to be in a playoff run, but whatever. As of now, that's kind of it on the free agent side of things and trades. I'm actually really curious as to what you guys want to see. Obviously, I want to know if it's actually possible. So if you guys could comment below and let me know what trades you would like to see the Dodgers make. And if you got to pick one big free agent to sign, who would it be? Is it Machado? Is it Nathan Eovaldi? Is it Harper? So let me know below what you guys would think about your trades and free agents, who you'd want to pick up, what you think they'd be worth, what you'd be willing to give them. Just curious as to what other people think. But other than that, the only other thing that did happen this week is the Dodgers released their season ticket plans as well as their promotional schedule for 2019. The season ticket plans, they look like a pretty good deal this year because they have half season and a couple other plans. And now it looks like you don't have to be a full season ticket holder to get the early entrance pass, which is how I got into all those games early and got to do BP. So if you have the money, I would look into that because the perks are pretty cool and being able to get in there early. And then you get a couple other things, not totally sure what they are, only know what they are for season ticket holders. But I thought that was pretty cool that they're going that route. And then the promotional schedule, some of the ones that stuck out to me were the 12 bobbleheads. They're doing another hooded sweatshirt. You guys saw me wear mine mostly all season. You can never go wrong with the Jackie Robinson jersey. Always have to show respect to him. They're going to do more Dollar Dodger Dog nights, of course, the alumni game, and they're going to do a player t-shirt and a player jersey. This year it was the Roberts jersey, and who was the player? I don't think it was Kershaw. Last year was Kershaw. I don't remember who the player was this year. It might have been Turner, but one second, guys. My neighbor's walking up. All right, so yeah, I'm not totally sure who the player shirt's going to be, but either way, those are always cool. But yeah, I just realized this video is at 29 minutes. I really didn't want to make it go that long, so I apologize. Don't want to make you guys listen to me ramble on anymore, so I'm going to go. I hope to have a weekly update for you guys next week, as long as there's stuff going on. I think there will be. The following week is winter meetings, and I have that award show to go to, so there's gonna be a lot going on in the next 10-15 days. So I'll catch up with you guys next week, and as always, I appreciate your support, and go Dodgers. All right, So of course, as soon as I got in my car and turned on MLB Network, there was a update that the Nationals actually traded for Yan Gomes. They sent Michael Taylor over, I guess, to the Indians. So now Yan Gomes is off the table for us. There's still Francisco Cervelli. I wouldn't mind that at all. I think he'd be a pretty good catcher for us. So hopefully we see something soon, because it kind of looks like everyone's getting out there and getting those guys. And Dodgers always tend to be a little bit quiet, but I kind of thought they would work in some package deal with maybe Kluber and Yan Gomes. May have to pay a little bit more for Kluber now if we can't package it. Who knows? But yeah, before I uploaded this, just wanted to let y'all know that that one's off the table now. So all that time I spent talking about him was pointless. So sorry. Catch you guys later.